Hey, kia ora. Helen Brown's here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Porch Light Letters podcast number 2135. And tonight we're talking about soft doesn't mean weak. This is part 4 of our surrender series. We've had some really good ones so far this week. This week we've talked about the art of letting go, trusting what you can't yet see. Surrender isn't giving up, and tonight it is soft doesn't mean weak. Somewhere along the way, we were taught that strength looks loud, hard, stoic, unshaken. But what if softness is its own kind of power? Tonight, we're exploring the misunderstood strength of softness. Hang on, sorry. My screen just went weird. Tonight, we're exploring the misunderstood strength of softness, how tenderness, empathy, gentleness, and grace aren't signs of weakness, but a proof of emotional strength. So what softness teaches us? Softness is not passivity. It is a conscious presence. It is being present in the moment. Being kind in a harsh world is an act of rebellion. Think about that one. When all this harshness about it, and you come along and you're just soft and gentle and kind and loving, and people take that to be that you're rebelling against the norm of being harsh. No, we want to be nice and soft with everybody. We want, I don't like this harshness. I like softness. It's such a good place to be. It takes more strength to stay open than it does to shut down. Yes, think about that one. It takes more strength to stay open than it does to shut down. Did you not? I learned this one years ago. I've never checked the facts on this one. Years ago, I was told that you have something like 121 different muscles in your face. It takes less than half of them to smile and all of them to frown. So I'm like, well, then why aren't more people smiling? Because it takes less effort to smile than it does to frown. Why do people go for frowning? So, think about things like that. So it takes more strength to stay open than it does to shut down. That just reminded me of the smile and the frowning thing. Softness is strength without armor. It's heart-forward living. Softness is strength without armor. It's heart-forward living. I love that. What happens when we equate softness with weakness? We harden ourselves as protection, not power. We hide our sensitivity instead of honoring it. We assume we have to fight to be taken seriously. We pass down the belief that emotions are liabilities, not gifts. Oh my gosh, emotions are such an incredible gift that we have been given. It helps us face what's going on in our life. We can express ourselves better when we're able to use emotions instead of just sitting there with a very serious face and trying to talk to somebody or tell a joke and everything else. Your emotions show on your face. Your emotions show in your body language and everything else. So when we equate softness with weakness, we pass down the belief that emotions are liabilities, not gifts. Your emotions are such an incredible gift. And to be able to express yourself with your emotions, it makes you more relatable to others. So how do you embrace your soft strength? Speak gently without diminishing your truth. You can be gentle but firm with your voice. You can be gentle and soft. With your voice being gentle and soft, you can help diffuse some situations as well. You hold boundaries with love instead of anger. You let your compassion lead even when you're hurt. Yes. I've learned that one the hard way at times. You reframe emotional as deeply attuned. And then you recognize that softness doesn't mean shrinking. It means showing up with grace and love and gratitude and all those good things. Yeah, all those good things. And our legacy connection with what are we talking about? With soft not being weak. When we show up soft, we make space for others to exhale. Exhale. Jeepers. Exhale. Think about that one. When you show up soft, we make space for others to exhale. How many times are you in a situation where somebody's getting themselves all worked up, they're not able to concentrate on the conversation, you're sitting there very gently talking to them, and you just go, hey, stop, take a breath. Sometimes that's all they need to do, is just to, because they are in that space that you have made, because you have shown up softly enough that they are able to take that breath and blow out all that negative stuff that's blocking them at the time. We model emotional safety. Yes, we model emotional safety. So those around us feel safe with their emotions. They feel like they are being heard. They feel like they are being seen. So to give them a space where they can not only exhale, but they can feel the emotions they want to feel. They can do it in a safe way because you're giving them that emotional safety net. We teach that resilience doesn't always roar. It can whisper. Sorry, I've just had this image go through my head. There's a it was one of those videos of a police dog in training, and the dog was barking, and they told it to whisper, and its mouth is just, and all you can hear is its mouth going. You can see its mouth going like this, but at the same time, it's doing this whisper bark, and you can hear this little and snapping of its jaws, and it looks so happy, and it's got this little jaunty step that it's doing, and it's just an absolutely very cute video. And so when we teach that resilience, it doesn't always roar, it can whisper. And that too is legacy. That just brings to mind that little puppy learning to whisper his bark. That was so funny. So when we show up soft, we make space for others to exhale. We model emotional safety. We teach that resilience isn't always roar, it can whisper. And that too is legacy. So now for your reflection questions of the day that you can put into your Porch Light Reflection Journal. I got to get me another copy of this that doesn't have the not for resale across the front of it. This is my proof copy. I'm having fun writing in it too. So you can take the reflection questions that we're about to give you that are in the description below, and you can put it onto, let's see, do we have a, oops, trying to see if I've got a blank page in here somewhere. That one will do. Where you can, on the Porch Light, what do we got? Porch Light Notes, this is the page where you can write these questions. And on this side, they've got a prompt on here that you can follow, but this is where you can do like these reflection questions here on this free page. The questions are, and you can scan this QR code up here on the left-hand corner, and it will take you straight to the book. Let's see, reflection questions. Where have I been taught that softness is a liability? Softness is not a liability. It is a huge, huge asset. What does it feel like when I allow myself to be gentle? It actually feels really good. I've had a couple of times in the last few days where I've been on a Zoom call with somebody who has gotten worked up because they're feeling overwhelmed. Things aren't going their way. Things aren't being done correctly. So they're getting frustrated and all that. And I've just sat there very calmly, very gently, and said, can you do me a favor? And they go, what's that? I says, can you just stop and take a breath? So what does it feel like when I allow myself to be gentle? It actually feels very empowering. But these people that I've been talking to on Zoom the last couple of days, where I've had to get them to stop and take a breath and myself just be gentle and not get caught up in their emotions and everything else. Yes, I am letting them have their say in that. I am hearing what they say. I understand what they say. I understand the situation they're in. Sometimes some of what they're going through at the moment, I'm going through as well. But just to allow myself to be gentle, it was very empowering. That was giving them that emotional safety net. things we've been talking about today already. And your third question, so the first two questions are, where have I been taught that softness is a liability? What does it feel like when I allow myself to be gentle? And what would change if I saw my tenderness as power? And I'll tell you, the Zoom call, like I said, the Zoom calls I've had, the people have been letting out their frustrations and their overwhelm and that, and I've had to get them to stop and pause and take a breath. And for me, it was very empowering to be able to sit there, listen to them, see them and hear the emotions that they were going through, as well as seeing it on their faces and things. It was very empowering. But to be able to give them that space that they needed in a safe way, and just to be there and focus solely on them, to give them that feeling of safety, to give them that feeling that they're being heard, to give them that feeling that they are being seen, and that somebody can empathize with them. It was, yeah, it's a very empowering thing to be able to do that for someone, and to be able to do it for these people that I've had to speak with for the last few days. There's a lot of people facing a lot of overwhelm out there. I've got some friends out there who are going through some struggles. We all go through struggles. I'm going through struggles myself. And to be able to give them a space where they can be heard, seen, they can just let out all their frustrations and all of that. And then by the time we get to the end of our conversation, they feel better about themselves. They feel better about the situation that they're in. And you were that person that gave them that calm space, that calm setting that allowed them to do to get out what the frustrations and stuff that they needed to get out. So be that person and ask yourself, where have I been taught that softness is a liability? What does it feel like when I allow myself to be gentle? What would change if I saw my tenderness as a power? And in our closing thought for this evening, soft doesn't mean weak. It means brave enough to stay open. And with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys back here tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hey, go on.